Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm here, TJ, with my brother Tim, and we are the Yinzer Brothers. Tim, let's ride, baby. Let's ride it. It's a special Yinzer Bros podcast edition. So much crazy Steelers stuff's been happening with quarterbacks and punters. We got a punter today, too, apparently.
That dude, he looks just like Bill Burr. You know Bill Burr,
does.
the comedian?
I think it is.
Identical to him.
I think it is Bill. I think it's exactly what it is. So, again, if you haven't heard, the Steelers are signing Russell Wilson to a 1-year contract worth like what, $1 million and change?
$1.2 million. Let's ride.
Which is cheaper than Kenny Pickett.
I just saw Gardner Minshew get 2 years, $30 million.
I saw that. That's actually. Did you see Cousins? What he got?
Yeah,
Cousins to the Vikings.
I mean,
$40 million a year.
TJ, I don't know. I'll tell you what hit like last night. It hit, and I go, I really didn't like it at first, and then he sent out that stinking that renegade thing.
Renegade.
You ever see that GIF with a little cartoon? It just is like, says he's grabbing his fist. He goes, SOB, like just SOB. You got me. That's what it was like. Right when I saw, it, I was like, that SOB got me right there.
He did. So let's talk, Tim.
I've been listening to Sierra all day for no apparent reason. I don't even like Sierra.
She's all part of it now. It's all part of the Steeler family. She's one of us. She's one of our girls now, Tim. Tim, so what do you see? Now, Crocker. So what do you think of the move?
TJ, I don't know, man. Like I talked myself into a small period of time, like on Justin Fields, and like thank God I didn't, because the more I like think about it, I'm like, he must really suck if nobody's like the Bears are gonna be lucky to get like me, you, and a player to be named, for Justin Fields.
A case of Gatorade.
Basically. I don't know. I mean, I came to this conclusion. I was like, as long as they use the extra funds to do something with the team besides get a punter, and they haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Like they got to get a center. They're going to fill it inside. They got to fill inside linebacker position, because that stuck's in the draft. You got to do something. They're just sitting here doing nothing.
I think they're going to bring that kid from Denver. Holy crap! Why not?
He signed.
Who'd he sign with?
He got a lot of money too.
And then that's probably why they didn't get him. Because I know that other kid signed with the guy. The guys they were looking at for Jackson. Well, that
guy from Denver. The kid from Denver got more money than him. I think he went to. I want to say it's Texans. I don't know. He went somewhere, and he's getting paid a lot of money.
That's a shame. Well, they're going to have to find somebody. So it seems like he's a fit for the offense. I mean, let's just be real. It's got to be an upgrade.
Weird dude. I agree. I mean, you can't get much worse. He's just such a weird cat, dude.
I get it, but I mean, what do you do? You got Kenny and Mason. How confident were you feeling going into this year with Kenny and Mason? I mean, we didn't even have Mason yet.
I told you. I mean, Mason. I mean, that's another hilarious thing. You're like talking like what I was hearing, like 2 years, $12 million for Mason. You get Russ at 1.2. I mean, come on.
So I heard they met with Mason's guys after that. What could you possibly tell Mason?
I'd have been like, grab your stupid face and get your stupid stuff. I would have gave Mason a helmet with no face mask and just sent him on his way. Like, here you go, bud. I don't know. I mean, to me, it's like you shouldn't have waited that long. Who's going to sign Mason?
I don't know. Do they still have they don't call it the XFL anymore. What do they call it now? The UX, what's it? The USFL, the USL or something like that.
You mean the Rock League?
Yeah, that's pretty much. That's what it is. I don't know.
I mean, his wife runs. His wife looks like a man. I'm sorry, Rock, but she does. But good.
That's true. So, I mean, I think it checks boxes. And like you said, something that was very important too. You're getting him so cheap that should give you money to be able to do other things.
You got to do something. I mean, TJ, you can't tell me you're not a little disappointed. All you saw was a punter for they paid this punter $9 million too.
Yeah. You know what?
I'm going.
We're in pain from Harvin these last few years.
I get it, but dude, you got to give me something. Give me something. Give me something.
I wonder if they're going to, they need cornerback. They do need a linebacker, but I don't know if I want to spend a ton of money on the inside linebacker. They need defensive line help. They got to grab a center or somebody. Holy crap. How many centers are left now?
There's like three of one off the board, three or four off the board. So I don't know what you're going to do unless you're just going to draft one. But you got to get like, to me, you got to sign players where it's weak in the position in the draft. Center's deep, so I'm not really worried about that. They can grab one of those good centers. You got to get inside linebackers. They all stink in the draft. And I know the corners are decent in the draft, but I got a feeling Omar's cooking up something with a cornerback. I do. I really do. The more I keep like thinking, I got a feeling they're trying to swing for the fences and get that dude from KC that's got tendered.
Yeah. I mean, they could. I mean, he's going to be, which they usually don't, they usually don't drop money on guys like that.
But TJ, they drop so many dudes in the secondary. They got to do something.
No, they do.
There's a lot of safeties out there too, and the safety draft is weak too. So you got to sign a safety to pair with Minka, and then you could probably put Kazeez because he may only play 4 games because he's suspended half the time. But they run that like that three safety look a lot. So to me, you got to get somebody that's a thumper, and there's a couple thumpers out there. But dude, it just irritates the crap out of me. You're thinking like, hey. You got Wilson for a bucket of golf balls. It feels like you're being cheap right now. Like you're like that. Like it's like the old Kevin Colbert days. Like they're jumping in the dumpster and coming out and be like, "I got my trash."
Well, yeah, but maybe they're swinging with some bigger guys. Maybe that's why it's taking a little bit more time.
There's not many more bigger guys left. I don't know what I mean. I know there's some safeties out there, but like, what do you?
Well, they need some defensive line help too. I could see them maybe investing in that. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're going after some bigger guys. Again, they do have to address some things on the offensive line. Holy crap. I mean, wasn't Wilson like the most sacked quarterback again last year?
I mean, to me, the tackle position is deep in the draft. So you can get your right tackle.
Yeah. I like that kid from Georgia.
I mean, you do that. I'm okay with that. But the center, I don't, like I said, I think you can go center. If they go center tackle first couple rounds, I'm good with that. You got your line complete. I'll tell you right now, what they did at guard a couple years ago by signing Daniels and signing the dude from Philadelphia, those dudes are on dirt cheap contracts compared to, you saw some of these guards, what they got today. One dude got like $60 million.
I know, it's
crazy, dude.
Did you see what you call got at LA?
No. Who?
The guy we sent to LA. To the Rams. He got like a ridiculous contract.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about the Dotson. Yeah, but those guys are getting like $60 million. I think our guards are maybe 34.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I think Russell's an upgrade. I think he's going to be fine for us.
I hope so. I think he's going to be an upgrade. He's going to be an upgrade.
We don't need I don't need Russell Wilson of of the Seattle Seahawks. I just need a good quarterback. I don't even need like a super great quarterback. I need a good to great quarterback. That's all we need. You have a decent quarterback. Look what we did with 3 crummy quarterbacks last year.
I still hold on to Kenny like he's not that crummy. I don't know why.
Well, so there's different. This is why I designate him there. Again, it's not just raw ability. He can't stay healthy. Which is a big deal. If you can't stay healthy every year, what are you going to do? He's too skinny. You got to bulk up. You got to do something. And again, I don't like the way he doesn't stand in the pocket either. He escapes the pocket, which you're going to see some of that out of Russell Wilson too. But at least he's got enough wherewithal, and he throws a nice deep ball down the field. Really, when you look at all those things, Mason, man, at least he stood in the pocket. When he stood in the pocket, delivered, he looked great. But we all know there's no way that Mason can continue that for 17 games.
No.
There's no way. He's a statue back there. There's just no way. At some point, somebody's gonna rip his helmet off, hit him in his head with it. He's just there's gonna take him out.
I just get nervous because I don't think Russ can throw over the middle of the field.
Well, he's not. I mean, he's short too. I mean, you're talking.
But
yeah.
What did we say about Kenny the whole time? He's like, dude doesn't throw in the middle of the field.
So, but this is. I mean, you got to remember this. You got Super Bowl, 9 Pro Bowls, 9.
I understand.
So I heard Stink give his commentary on him. He said something. He said he wasn't good for Denver, but he wasn't ever good. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy's just bitter. How can you not be good? He should have 2 Super Bowl wins. They have an idiot for an offensive coordinator that calls that stupid slant on the goal line when you got, you just hand the ball off and you beat Brady, thank God. But no, they don't do that. They got to be sneaky. He should have if he has 2 Super Bowl wins, he's in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt.
I, I don't disagree with you. It just, to me, it's like, do I think he is the? Do I think we still have the? I think we have the third best quarterback in the AFC North. I mean, we don't.
Well,
I just don't.
Who's going to come in here and leapfrog, Burrow and Lamar Jackson?
I don't disagree. I don't know, man. It's like I guess I keep thinking of that first year in Denver where he was bad.
So this is something, and I don't know if he even realized this or not. You got to fit the right system. And I think I could be wrong, but I think in Seattle, he was in the right system early on. He had a great defense, great running game. Hey, we don't need you to win it for us. We need you to be able to scramble around, chuck the ball deep every once in a while to keep everybody honest. So I think he didn't realize that was his role. And, he's not a Mahomes. He's not like one of these other guys. He's not a Josh Allen. So you get him to Denver, which is a completely different scheme. Sean Payton, that's not what he does. Sean Payton is everything's on time. It's you run his offense. There's no like, you're not painting with brushes out there. You're doing what he wants to do. And let's just be real too. I don't think he was Sean Payton's guy. So I did something today. I called a couple of my buddies back in Denver. I was in Denver for like 10 years. Two football guys. One was an offense coordinator. One was a high school coach. I said, you see him every week. What do you see? Is he that bad? And they said, no, he's not that bad at all. He's just not a great fit. He goes, and the challenge was this. He goes, I'm telling you right now, my buddy Andy Quinnell said this. He goes, for whatever reason, they just didn't like him. He said, Peyton didn't like him. He wasn't Peyton's guy. He said, Sean Payton wanted somebody else. He goes, so there was nothing he could do to be his guy. He said, but the eye test, he said he was fine. He looked great. He goes, and he said he beat some of the top quarterbacks last year. And going back there, right, he did. Now, I'm not saying he's going to take us to the Super Bowl, but you got to believe he's going to take us further than Kenny or Mason. They just don't have the stock yet.
TJ, I just think I think when we're sitting at this next year, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to have 9 or 10 wins. And then you're going to have a decision to make. Be like, my worst fear is he is above the line. When I say above the line, just good enough to get us 10 wins, whatever. And then you got to make a decision. Like, are you going to pay this dude? Are you really going to pay this dude? And they make the mistake of paying this dude, and he's terrible. So that's when I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like, I guess what people said something about last year in Denver, like, yeah, he had the 20 whatever and the low picks, but like some of his balls, like his receivers are making like crazy catches on. And he didn't throw over the middle of the field, which gets me nervous. But
that may be by design.
And he took a lot of sacks. A lot of sacks.
He did. And he does that. He does that traditionally. But here's reality. It's not like he's coming in to try to compete for like Joe Montana or Steve Young or somebody like that. This is, Kenny is still not set the world on fire either. How does Kenny do? Every once in a while he throws over the middle. But again, he's an outside guy. But here's my question.
But the one game we saw Kenny actually throw in the middle was when Matt Canada wasn't there.
Oh, I get it.
And truthfully, I think Mike Tomlin has had a lot more to do with that than anybody's. I think Mike Tomlin was like, "Don't turn the ball over." And what's the safest way not to turn the ball over?
Throwing it on the outside field. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you. So I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what these guys look like in this new offense. And here's the reality too. Is this the end of Kenny Pickett? Probably not. It could be, but he's in his third year. Let him sit behind Russell Wilson. Let's see what he's got.
Well, here's hypothetical. Like, how do you? They're saying this is supposed to be a quarterback competition, which I don't think it's going to be at all. What happens if Kenny does? How do you judge that? What if Kenny does look better than him in preseason?
Then I think you put him in. But what would keep you from not putting Kenny in there? Usually it'd be money. They're both making nothing. So put the best QB in. That's why he was benched in Denver. He wasn't benched in Denver because of his play. He was benched in Denver because he was making a stupid amount of money. That was a financial decision. That had nothing to do with his play. How would the Steelers have looked this last year if our quarterbacks even together threw like 28 touchdowns and had like 8 picks? How many more games is that we win this year?
Maybe 2.
How many did we have total this year? 12?
Let's ride.
You're talking less than half. He finished in the top 10. He was like number 10 for QBs in the league. He was in the top third.
I say that too, but like we also won a bunch of games in the fourth quarter because Kenny pulled stuff out of his rear end. Is Wilson going to do it all the time?
Wait,
then again,
not this,
he did.
Not this
Wilson
year.
did. Wilson did have fourth.
He did.
He has a ton of fourth quarter comebacks.
But Kenny didn't. He didn't do that last year.
Yeah, he did.
Not like he did his first year. He wasn't all over the place. I mean, he was hurt for how many games was he out this year? 4 games.
He won 2. I think he won two or 3 games in the fourth quarter of this year.
And then he gets healthy, and where is he? He's on the bench.
I think Tom. I still think they should have started him because you're in this predicament right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I get it, but Mason's got the hot hand. You got to go with it. But it does tell me this. Have you ever noticed this too? A lot of this happened. Remember when they asked Kenny, what'd you learn from sitting on the bench?
I agree.
Nothing.
I agree. Nothing. And
I think Tom was like, you know what? I'm not going to mess with this. This is ridiculous.
I think if he would have kept his mouth shut and been like, yeah, I'm learning. I think maybe you're not in this predicament you're in right now. I don't know, but I still don't. I don't know, man. Like if this is you live this. Isn't this the same? Isn't this the same thing that happened with Bradshaw?
Yeah, but they never brought anybody of the caliber of like a Russell Wilson. I mean,
I agree,
they just did.
But do you
remember Graham? Do you remember?
No,
it was a wasteland.
But Bradshaw, I mean, for 4 years he was getting yanked in and out the Steelers lineup until they finally gave him the job. And after his fourth year,
you mean early on? Yeah, after his fourth year, they did.
They brought guys in. They brought a guy in that was actually half decent to compete with him, just like this.
Oh yeah.
But to me, it's like I get it. You're bringing Wilson, but to me, it's like if it would have been anything more than $1.2 million, I don't think they would have done it. To me, this is almost like you almost had to do it.
Yeah, if they didn't do this, let's say Cleveland signed him for $1.2 million. What would we say in Pittsburgh? What would we do? We would lose our freaking minds.
I'd probably say I'd probably like the Wilson's washed. It's fine.
You probably would say it. It's you have to because it gives you the ability. You have an upgraded quarterback, and again, and if Kenny wins it out, he wins it out. But it gives you more money to do other things.
That's what I'm saying, though. I get what I better see that. If I don't see that, I'm going to be like, dude, what are we doing?
You will. I think they had a good track record last year. I think we will.
I mean, trust me. I don't understand. I guess punting's big, but I don't understand why you're spending $9 million on a punter for 3 years.
You got to remember. So the free agent stuff doesn't really open up till Wednesday.
But TJ, they have a punter that looks like Bill Burr. They signed for $9 million for 3 years.
If he's better than Percy Harvin,
they could have got the guy from Kansas City who's like leads the world in punting. They cut the guy just signed for 2 years for $6 million. To me, it doesn't make any.
Apparently, this kid's awesome.
You grab a punter off the scrap heap.
Well, apparently that hasn't worked for us because we tried that with Percy Harving, and that doesn't work.
They drafted that dude like in the 6th round, 5th round. No.
Has anybody picked him up yet?
No, and nobody will.
So here's the question I have: what do you do with your third quarterback? Do you just draft another kid?
You have to.
Yeah.
At this point in time, now it kind of opens things up to like if you want to get a guy that was been hurt, like the kid from Florida State that blew his knee out, maybe take a pop on him in the 5th round, 6th round. Yeah.
Well, I would love to go into the draft though, having at least a center in my hip pocket.
I still think you can get a mediocre center for back. I think they're, but you also got Herbert that supposedly can center too. So to me, it's like you're going to draft a guy. It's either you go with him. You draft a guy, and the guy's going to probably, the way the Steelers work, it probably won't start until week 5, and he'll be an all-pro, just the way the Steelers work. But they'll put a guy that's a 4th-round draft pick right in the starting line, but go ahead, go do it. You'll be like, you got to earn your piece. I don't know. But even if you go out and sign a mediocre center, you still draft a center early for round 2. Yeah. Maybe go to a tackle, get the kid from West Virginia round 2, call it a day.
Yeah, but I do like that kid from Oregon, but he's not going to be there for the 2nd round. They're going to have to commit to him early on. But if you got to pick one or the other, if they get that if they can get a chance to get that kid, that tackle from Georgia, they got to grab him.
I don't know, man. I'd rather have the center, man. That guy, dude. I would rather have the center from Oregon than the tackle from Georgia. Believe it or not,
because he is a monster.
TJ, that dude that's your dude for the next 15 years.
Did you see him throw around the Steeler assistant that was helping out?
TJ, that's an all pro for 8-9 years. Not a Pro Bowler. That's an all pro for 8-9 years right there.
Maybe he's the play. It is a deep class for tackles and stuff. So
I don't know, man. To me, I'm always like, I just think they're infatuated with Dan Moore, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like nothing's ever going to change. I
I,
don't know
I
who
can
that
see him
dude has
as
pictures
a
of.
swing. I can see him as a swing tackle.
I can too. I can too. But I mean, like I said, their line they got to get a center, but I don't think their line's that bad. I think they need to get a receiver. I would love to see them bring in Tyler Boyd. I love to see them beside Tyler Boyd.
You know, I heard some rumblings too of the possibility that they may bring in. Oh shoot, who's the great wide receiver that's out there?
Dude from Jacksonville.
Yeah. What's his
Dude,
name?
Joey Porter had him locked up like he was in chains. Get out of here.
Well, thank God Joey Porter's on our side.
That dude can't get off man coverage of a
Dude,
he can't do it. He can't do it.
Did you see T. Higgins requested a trade today?
Yeah, I mean he's not coming to Steelers. I would like to have him just eat away at the Bengals for the next 10 years would be great. But I would you bring in Tyler Boyd. He's probably gonna have decent Pittsburgh kid, tough, be your slot guy, control those knuckleheads in that stinking room, in that wide receiver room. Be like, hey,
that's true. We need somebody.
And
he's a Pittsburgh kid too, man.
Yeah, and he talked smack on the Steelers like they didn't care. Like, I like that dude. He knew before he knew before anything. Get him in here.
Do you think Russell can Russell Wilson keep those guys under control?
Not a chance, dude. Not a chance, dude. Not a chance. Russ I see Pickens flipping out. Russ being like, "That's right." Pickens is like, "You bleep it, hey, that's right."
He may be like, "I am Groot." Maybe that's all he says. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like I would love. That's a difference where I could think. I could see Kenny at some point if he was to like grab somebody by a face mask and be like, "Shut the bleep up." I could see Russell Wilson being like, "Hey, dangerous. Let's ride."
That's true.
That's what makes me nervous about him, dude.
I mean, but I do like this about Russell too.
Trust me, if I see that dude grab somebody's face mask and chew him out after like game 2, I'll be like, wait a second, we got danger Russ. We got different Russ.
Hey, he started out great.
We got Mr. Unlimited.
That's right, dude. That's thinking. I'll tell you what. When he tweeted out that Renegade thing, holy crap.
I mean, that was the only, like I said, I was like, I'm sitting there going, man, I don't know, man, this Russell thing, I don't know. I just get pictures, him be like, I'm Mr. Unlimited, Mr. Unlimited. And then I was like, that son of a B got me. He got me.
He did.
I
got to say this too.
That thing was like late. It was like midnight. I was like, I'm in my bed like, oh, mama. I'm looking at my Pickett jersey. I'm throwing it away. I'm like,
so one thing I like too, he's kind of Baker Mayfield in it. He's kind of betting on himself. He's like, give me a 1-year deal. I'm going to do it for nothing, which means he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. When's the last time Russell Wilson's had a chip on his shoulder?
I agree with you, dude. I agree with you 100%. That's why I'm saying, like, if I see him like grab a face mask and just be like, listen up, you turd. Let's ride together. Let's ride, and like shaking face masks. I'm like, okay, we got a different dude. Now, if I saw that like preseason or week 1 or even training camp, I'd immediately go get a 3 jersey Steeler. I'm immediately like, it's just the dude. I'd be signed to a 3-year extension right now. Give him 40 plus.
Do you think Deontay's still going to want to trade out of Pittsburgh now?
I'd trade him regardless, dude. That dude's a cancer. Get him out of here, man. Get him out of here. No, I think he's going to be like, let's ride. Like,
what are you going to get for Deontay? You're not going to get it unless you trade him with for the Bears.
Dude, I still think you can get like a 4th rounder for him because the other guy that got the 5th and 6th rounder, Judy was. I think you had to pay him like $13 million. Deontay, you got to pay him $7 million. You get rid of him.
I mean, maybe
watch out for the Cardinals. If he goes anywhere, he's going to Arizona.
So what reason why?
They got a boatload of picks. They got a boatload of picks. They got like 103 third round picks. Take one of them. If somebody offered a 3rd round pick, I would pack his bags for him and be like, and tweet one of his cryptic, stupid tweets and be like, go.
Hey, maybe you get some picks, and who knows? They may be able to do some finagling, and maybe they get the center and the tackle that they want.
You'll know. I mean, by the end of if he's not gone by the end of the week, he's not going anywhere.
He's got that $3 million bonus or something.
Yeah. I mean, so it is what it is. But Arizona's the team I'd kind of because they got like guys like me and you to throw. They have nobody out there to throw the ball. They don't.
Deontay gets hurt a lot too. He's not durable either. He's not very big.
Always got a hamstring. But I mean, his attitude sucks, dude.
It does.
It sucks, man. Like, I just don't.
He had a fist fight with Mitch Trubisky,
I mean, I would
right?
have too, but I mean, his face is mucho punchable. Though.
How did he get money?
That dude got paid more than Russell Wilson.
I know. How did he get money from? That's ridiculous to me.
He got. I mean, I think he got like close to like what. I don't know, man. He got
Did
close
he
to
get
like
10 million,
$8 million.
like 7 million guaranteed or something ridiculous?
Dude. He got pictures of some. He must be. They say he's a nice guy, dude. He must be an incredibly nice guy. That
He's
dude
a nice guy. Can't throw a football. Nice guy.
He must. I mean, he must like walk in. He must be the designated guy they kick in the nuts every time they're losing. He's like, yes, that's how he's getting paid.
I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know,
man.
Did we happen to get anything in the Yinzer mailbag? I know that this is a fluke one. Just you might as well check.
No, we
did.
did.
We get something really?
Like Mush knew this was coming down, and he put a lot of stuff in here. So this is the first time he's looking at it.
So just let me, while you're checking out, let me just tell everybody. So the Yinzer mailbag is when you, the Yinzer fans, get to write into us to ask us anything. You can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com, and then we'll answer your question here on this international podcast. We're an international podcast. So Tim, what do you got? What do you got in the Yinzer mailbag?
He keeps saying this to me, and I don't understand this. He's like, "How happy are you that your call on Russell, TJ, you didn't call the Russell Wilson thing. Did you call this Russell Wilson thing?"
I think I might have, yeah.
Check the tapes, because I don't think you did.
I think I might have. I think I brought him up.
He says, "How happy are you that you brought this up and spoke this into?"
I'm very happy.
I just don't feel
I thought he made more sense than Fields, because I don't think Fields was proven enough. And I don't know.
How happy am I that it wasn't Fields? I mean,
very happy.
Now,
where's he going to go now?
TJ, I don't know. You gotta. That would be the best scenario of it all. If they trade him to the Vikings,
and then he catches fire and he takes out the Bears.
He just destroys the Bears for the next 10 years. Would be hilarious.
I mean, who else is needing a quarterback that's not going to be drafted like super early?
He's gonna be backup, dude. I don't know.
So let me ask you a question. How would you feel about, maybe trading with the Bears to bring Fields here and then sending Pickett somewhere?
No, DJ.
Who's got more upside, Pickett or Fields?
Well, here you got an extra year on Kenny's contract before you hit that stupid bonus. So no, I'm you keep Fields. Obviously, the league knows something that everybody else knows, because he's still. It's either that or like I still have a feeling the Steelers had a decent trade for him, like early, like in the combine, and King Poles. That's what they call him out here. Dude's an idiot. Just signs a running back for Swift for $24 million. Come on, dude. I have a feeling that he overplayed his hand. I think the Steelers maybe was going to give him a second or third round pick. And he was like, "I'll wait. It will be a bidding war for Fields." And everybody in the league's like, and now they're sitting there going like, "Oh crap. If I'm them, I'm probably going to." It sucks because out here the fan base is 50-50. 50 people, they love Fields. 50% of them don't like him. I have a feeling we have to keep him and wait for a quarterback injury sometime in the year and try to ship him or deal him. But it's going to make for hell out here for Williams when they draft him, because half the fan bases are going to hate him. And I'm going to laugh. I don't know. To me, you got the Vikings. You got.
I'm trying to think who else is looking for. I mean, you see the stupid money that they gave to Baker Mayfield?
I was going to say the Raiders before, but they just, got Minshew.
But what's he going to do?
But his old offensive coordinator's the offensive coordinator in the Raiders.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm seeing that Jameis Winston may sign with the Browns as a backup. That quarterback room's like, it's like three brain cells fighting over each other between him, Watson, and I don't know whoever else is out there in Cleveland. That group of fun.
You know where he'd be an interesting fit as a backup, because he's basically the same guy.
Don't say where I think you're gonna. Don't say Baltimore, because I don't.
I think it'd be Baltimore. He's basically the same guy.
The Baltimore doesn't have the money to be full around that garbage.
But who can? How does think?
If I was the Bears, I just make him into RB1. That's what I would do. Be like, you're RB1 from now on.
That's right. How does Cleveland continue? They're strapped for cash. They pay all the stupid money, and they're still bringing guys in. How's that possible?
TJ, they traded for that guy because they have no money. You see how many draft picks they have? They have like 3 draft picks. Yeah, TJ, don't worry.
Cleveland.
Don't worry. If what's Watson's number? Number 7. I don't know what his name. If that dude is no good, they may win 3 games. No bueno for them. That fans will be crying for Joe. It all comes down to the Deshaun Watson basket. That's where it comes down to.
Boy, he just does not look the same to me.
TJ, he hasn't been good for. I get people are like, he's out for the year for league for a year. He's this and that. This is going on to year 3. He hasn't been good.
Yeah.
He's only been in the league, 8 years, 9 years? Almost half of those times he is not good. There's a problem, dude. I don't think he's good anymore. Don't think he's good.
He needs more massages. That's his problem. He's too tight. He's not loose enough.
He just like broke his shoulder, his throwing shoulder, like severely bad. Like,
Tim, you've had experience in that, haven't you?
I can't even throw a tennis ball 10 yards now.
Tim,
I think I had the same thing. Almost the same thing as he had. I can't even.
I'm sure his doctors were slightly better than yours.
I could barely pick up a thing of soap and my body, my right hand arm anymore.
Yeah. Anything else in the Yinzer mailbag?
Who was driving force behind getting Russ? Coach T? ? I heard something that Cam was very vocal in getting Russ here.
I think this. I mean, they're probably exploring it, but I mean, one thing that we know about Mike Tomlin, I think the players love him.
I agree, but it's just like, can you imagine going from like Seattle, which is a nice place, to like Denver, then you're walking into Pittsburgh and you're looking around?
Where's
Russ? Where's Russ Wilson going to live?
I don't know.
Where's him and Sierra? You think they're going to buy a house? You think Sierra's going to be living in stinking Belanox down? Where do you think he's going to be?
I don't know. Going to be in Homewood, Brushton. I don't know where he's going to be.
Do you think?
But I think it does speak to this, though.
We're going to have Sierra up in a box.
Probably.
Think about this. We got Sierra. We got the Pirates pitcher is dating that Livy Dunn. We got all these people they're going to be in Pittsburgh doing what? Sierra's going to gain 400 pounds eating Pananis.
They're going to be going to the Ross Park Mall. You can't go to Monroe Mall. You could die there.
She's coming to Pittsburgh. She's going to be. Nobody's going to want to go see her in concert. All she's going to be subject to is singing the national anthem anymore down at the park.
That's right. That and the Starlight Amphitheater.
I mean,
or Starlight.
What is going on with this? We got Sierra's going to be in the house. It's going to be like the KDK is going to be like the Taylor Swift watch with Sierra down there.
I don't know. I do know this. I mean, I think. I think if he wants to win, maybe he looked at the team and was like, you know what, they're closer than people think they are.
TJ, you had your options of here, the Giants or the Raiders. What are you gonna pick, dude?
I don't know why he didn't go to the Raiders. You think he'd go there with being that showbiz life?
TJ, look at that team. You're gonna go to the Raiders?
Oh, they're bad.
Exactly. They're bad at football, and you're banking on yourself for 1 year. You're betting on yourself for. Tell me something.
Yeah,
you're betting on yourself
Giants
for 1 year.
No,
you're gonna go to the Giants or them. I think the Vikings would have been a great fit for him. I would have loved to throw those two monsters, but still, you think you're going to go to – come on. You got a top 10 defense. If Pickens just keeps his brain like in his skull, you got it.
Yeah, and Deontay's. I mean, he's a great possession receiver. So I mean, that's good.
Dude, I just want somebody to shake that dude. Just shake him. Be like, why doesn't T.J. Watt just grab him and just be like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Who shook the fire out of Claypool? Was that Mika? That like smacked the fire.
Everybody did. I mean, everybody. I think, yeah.
Is he still down at Miami or is he still in the league? What's he doing?
I think they're banking for him to go back up to wherever he's from in Canada,
Argonauts, be the CFL.
But
Ted Hortons.
To me, it's like you just need to get a dude just like that, like an old Debo that was just like, dude, look at him and be like all you just, and the dude's like this, let's ride, and then you just go.
I wonder if could Boyd do that? Do you think Boyd could be that guy?
I think Boyd would. Dude, he was talking smack on the Steelers saying they gave up in the middle of the field. And nobody, guess what Eddie from the Steelers said? They said nothing. They said they took it and they liked it.
I say bring him in.
Do you think you bring back a Pittsburgh kid and you see somebody not doing effort? Like, you don't think Tyler Boyd's going to shake that laughing pee out of that person?
Let's hope. I hope so.
Come on, dude. He grew up here. He's seen Hines Ward over. You don't think that dude's going to be like, Pitbull, go get him. Go get him. Either that or bring some goon in that's just going to just beat up everybody.
I like Tyler Boyd. I like him.
I think he'd be great.
I do too. Anything else in the Yinzer mailbag or?
He got a bunch of stuff, but I'll try to get some any early predictions on how many TD passing and rushing and INTs for Mr. Unlimited.
Well, I mean, he's got more weapons here than he did in Denver. So I would say
he had some good dudes in Denver, but I think the weapons are better in Pittsburgh.
I'm going to say, dude, did you see his stats? So out of his touchdowns last year, he had 20 red zone touchdowns last year.
I agree.
Our red zone, when Kenny's out,
TJ, he didn't play the last 5 games, and he had more throwing touchdowns than Lamar Jackson, who won the MVP.
Which is crazy. Which is crazy. I'm going to say this: I don't see any reason why he shouldn't have more than 25 tutties. I say 25 is the line. I'm going to say 25.
Can you imagine getting 25 touching pass downs?
Dude, they would revolutionize our stuff. I would say 25 tutties, and I'm going to say I would say maybe around 10 picks.
Let's ride. I mean, if I get that, if we get that, I mean, yeah.
And it's not all on his shoulders either. We got a great running attack. I mean, hello.
I could see Najee just getting frustrated with him for some apparent reason, though, too. Can't you just see Najee just being like Russ just being like old Russ and just being like, Mr. Unlimited, and Najee just being like, this dude's an idiot.
Hey, if it makes him run angry, I don't care.
I mean,
run angry, Naj. Run angry. Hey, it's a big year for Naj too, man. It's a big year for Naj.
Yeah, it's a big deal. TJ, it's a big year for everybody, bud. You know what? It's a big year for everybody.
You know, I think we
just gave up on our rookie quarterback after 3 years to bring in a dude on a $1.2 million prove-it deal, Russell Wilson.
It ain't looking good.
It's a big year next year for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, do you realize how historic this is? This has never happened in the NFL, and it may never happen again.
TJ, we don't sign dudes like this.
Well, I mean, for $1 million.
Again, I agree with you, dude. Look how big it is. You know, I'm looking at your photo. The hand size on Russell Williams is unbelievable. Look how big his hands are.
I know. Makes Kenny
Pickett being 5'10", his hands are ginormous.
That's like Drew. Have you ever seen Drew Brees' hands? They're massive too. He had big hands.
I'm just saying, look at his hands. They're just massive. Give me a high five there. That's right.
Mr. Unlimited.
It's a big year, dude.
Well, think about how this impacts everything. So you got a quarterback on the field that can extend drives. The defense stays fresher, even though they were sixth in the lead in scores against. Mm-hmm. It makes your defense better. I do think they need to pick up another tight end. They need another tight end. I am. You know what? I love. Don't get me wrong. I think Hayward. It's a great story, but he's a hobbit. He's not very big.
But I think in the
this
guy's offense,
make him an H back or make him a fullback.
In this guy's offense, that's what I think they have a flag. I think he'll be vital.
Green is fine, but you want another weapon as a tight end. Get two, and have Green in there to lean on people and to just Washington in there. Let Wash just lean on people and just put them out there or turn them into a tackle.
I just don't want to turn into like the let Russ cook crap. No, let Russ hand the ball off. I mean, seriously, let Russ hand the ball off. Russ shouldn't be throwing the ball more than 25 times a game.
I agree. He does throw a nice deep ball.
He should throw it. He should throw it no more than 25 times a game.
Which is, I think, if he stays in that sweet spot, you got a great running attack, a great defense. Yeah, that's not Peyton's offense.
But
Sean Payton's offense is
it is gonna be nice. Like anytime you felt like Kenny or Mason went back to throw the ball, or especially Mitch, you were just holding your breath, like, oh. You don't tell me you didn't think that every time you went. You're like, oh crap, here we go. It's gonna be nice. It's like the first time it's like Big Ben. You're like, okay, I don't got to worry about 1st and 10, and they come down and you see a pass, and you're like, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen?
Well, and think about this too. Since we haven't had since Ben, you got somebody that, as a quarterback, you're like, okay, this guy could get this done. I mean, he beat the champs last year. Beat the Chiefs.
TJ, trust me, I get what you're saying, but I want to see I want to see, and I don't want like handcuffs on Russ. I want to see him at the line doing these and doing this and Omaha, and like audibling and putting, and then I'll be like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
And he still needs to grab a face mask or two. Got to grab a face mask or two.
Well, that's why I think Smith was a great pickup too as an OC, because he runs a tight ship. He's a no nonsense guy. He's not like hey, we're just doing this feng shui kind of nice loving thing. I think he'll get in people's faces too.
I just wonder if Kenny's gonna. If I was Kenny, I would.
You're going to find a lot out about Kenny soon. You're going to see if he's going to be the deal or not.
I'd be like my agent. I'm like, get me out of here. Get me out of here.
And if he says that too, if you're a competitor, compete.
He says that. You said that. You know he's not the guy.
Yeah, you're right. So I think if you're a competitor, and it's one thing to be upset, like hey, you're on the bench, that's fine. But when you do what he did, that dishonored his team. You compete. That's just what you do. You keep your mouth shut. You compete. Show me with your play. I don't want to hear your mouth. Just show me with your play.
Do you think there's any stipulation to this too? Is like if Russ starts, he's supposed to help Kenny groom, and he's okay with that?
I have no idea.
I don't, because Russ wouldn't have signed a 1-year deal for pocket change.
I think this is a.
There's girls with their OnlyFans making more money than Russ is making next year.
You're right. You're totally right. No, I think it's a show me deal, and I'll tell you what. So he goes after he balls out. I mean, people are like, oh, what about our future? Then you sign. You have him for 2 or 3 years. I mean, if you can somehow, some way, sneak a Lombardi into this, do it. That's great.
Come on. I just want a playoff win. I ain't even thinking Lombardi.
You're thinking too small, baby.
Exactly what I'm thinking. It's too small, because that's all I can think of right now. It's small.
So you
small
look at
nibbles.
You look at Lamar Jackson. Until he can prove that he can pass it in the pocket consistently, they're not doing anything. You run the ball you want. I'm sorry. Look at the guys at the end. We all know what you get. The Bills, you know what you get with the Bills, right? What's the only quarterback that's got the element that can run around, make things happen?
Dude, Shiesty Joe out there in Cincinnati is pretty good when he's healthy, dude.
But here's the challenge. He said 2 years now that he's not been healthy. I mean, like out for most of the season, not healthy. So when do we start bringing up into the equation his health? You can be whatever you want to be. If you can't get on the field, what are you going to do?
What are you talking about? He was only last year he was only last year he was hurt.
Dude, he was hurt like 2 years before too.
He tore his ACL, dude. What do you want me to do?
I'm just telling you. So how many years has he been in the league?
Enough to be at
5 years?
Enough to be in a Super Bowl in 2 AFC title games.
I get it. So he's been in the league 5 years, and he's had 2 where he's been out almost. So he's only played 3 of the 5, in a sense. I mean, so what happens? You keep getting
banana
hurt.
land. That's a banana
Your
land
ability is
statement.
important too.
That dude's good at football. That dude's good at football.
Let me ask you, what do you think? So how much longer do you wait for the dude down in Jacksonville?
I got a feeling like he's gonna eventually turn into a real life avatar and just start just killing people down there.
He might. I don't know.
I mean, he does. He moves like one.
Dude, they have another bad season or 2. They're going to move on from him to grab another high draft pick.
Sign me up for him.
I'd take him. I'd take him in a heartbeat.
I'd be like, hey, what if the Steelers? That's all they do from now in the next 10 years. They just get quarterbacks on they revive Russell's career. Just get quarterbacks for $1.2 million for the next 10 years.
Hey, let's do it. If we can sneak a Super Bowl or 2 out,
we got 7 Lombardis with different quarterbacks.
That's fine. Hey, Tampa Bay did it with Tom Brady a couple years ago.
I don't know, man.
He fell off a cliff. All right.
We'll see. Like I said, I don't want Russ to fall off that cliff. Like I said, I think it's a good deal. $1.2 million, can't beat it. I feel bad for Kenny. Kenny's got to grow some onions, and hopefully he looks good. But again, this whole thing to me just hangs on the fact that they got to spend the money. If they sit there and they sit on their hands and they're getting nobody, I'm gonna be like, dude, I got an issue with this big time, because you gotta. This is the whole point of getting a quarterback for $1.2 million is to load base on other stuff. Just load up. You better load up.
So I think, from what I saw last year, it's not just Khan, it's Weidl. I think I'm super impressed with Weidl. Isn't it interesting? You see Weidl 1 year removed from the Eagles, and they lose a bunch of free agents and they don't backfill. And look at the state. Now they did pick up Saquon Barkley today, which is
they gave him a bank of money too.
They did, which is.
I agree, dude.
I think either McCaffrey, maybe, I don't know.
I think the most dirtiest thing I saw was that Green Bay signed Jacobs and then they got rid of their running back like 2 seconds after that. They cut him. I'm like, that's kind of dirty. But I mean, to me, it's like there's a lot of running backs. I was stunned getting as much money as they did today.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you'll see a swing in a revaluing of the position.
I hope not.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They seem like you could find them though, and inside backers too. That's going to be interesting for us.
I think that's you can get people cheap, but I'm hoping they get the dude that got cut from Miami. I know the inside linebacker. I can't remember his name.
I could see him right now.
What's his name? That would be one dude I hope they get, because to me it's like I still don't. I wasn't when they were there. I wasn't really upset about their linebacker play last year. When they had that 3 rotation, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It just there's other. I don't know if the Holcomb's going to be healthy at all. I mean he destroyed his knee.
He did.
If that was me, they would have to amputate from the groin down.
What do you think? Is there a chance you think we may see him again?
Edwards?
Yeah.
Who's Edwards?
Or Edmonds? Excuse me, Edmonds.
If I see that dude playing strong safety, TJ, I'm going to just. They've done weeded out all the guys that were brutal. It's almost like Omar has a list in his office, and he's like, somehow there's a bug in my room, and he's crossing dudes off the list that I have on the list. He's like, yep, Tim was right. Yep, Tim was right.
He's probably listening to the podcast, Tim. He's probably probably under an assumed name, something different.
Wouldn't that be some stuff like he gets on, hoists the Lombardi Trophy? He's like, I got to give shout out to the Yinzer brothers because without their direction,
that would be awesome. Holy crap!
And that list that the goofy one the brother has,
the one that's always wearing that helmet.
Yeah,
dude, what are you gonna do with the helmet? You can't wear the helmet anymore.
TJ, there will be something that pops up that has something goofy will happen with the Steelers, where that helmet will be somehow put into effect.
Oh man, well,
I mean,
yeah, probably. You're right. Well, that's it for us. We wanted to come give you this quick update. Again, the Yinzer Bros will be back in full force at the beginning of the year, but man, draft's coming up. We got all kind of stuff coming up, man. So we'll come popping on for free agent stuff. So we won't leave you disappointed. Again, I'm TJ, here with my brother Tim. Let's ride, baby.
Do you think he gets to change it to like? He gets on, he's like, here we go.
Oh, I hope so. Holy crap.
Do you think so?
I tweet him right now. I tweet him and say, Russ, here's your new thing. Just give the Yinzer Bros a shout out. You should do it, I'm telling you.
Like, just pop it up on nobody says anything to anybody. Then first game on the Jumbotron just pops and goes, it's like black and just goes, here we go.
Dude, that's it. I mean, that's it. All we need is a shout out, Russell.
And then Sierra sings a national anthem after that, and she's eating a Pimani's sandwich up in the box.
That's right. That we'll call that's when she was in her thin days, because you do that for about 3 months, she's gonna get chunky.
Next thing you know, she's gonna have one eyebrow. She's gonna speak in Yinzer. It's gonna be great. I kid.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm TJ. This is Tim. We're the Yinzer Bros. See you, Pittsburgh.
Still number one out here. All right.
Have a good one, boys and girls, because we have girls that listen to this too, right, Tim?
Still number one out here. Right?
Oh, we'll get letters. See you.